I was listening to some of your songs, and you use language. So there's a lot of words to choose from. So I'm going to offer you a few, and you can accept or decline.
Sure.
But the one that stood out to me is water, the subtitle for Fool Part 2.
Cool.
So in the space of, I wonder what shows up, what does water mean to you?
So that song, obviously, water as a metaphor. It's like a metaphor a lot of people have used. And I was thinking about two things. I was thinking about the way that, let's imagine like a stream of water, like a river or something. When you look at it, you can see your reflection. And also you can see in a river which direction it's going. And so I was thinking of water metaphorically in like a lot of different ways, but coming back to this idea of, if you're staring at the water, it shows you who you are, and it shows you which way this sort of world is going. And, the way I settle in the chorus is like, who you are and which way you should go. That's what the water shows.
Yes.
And yeah, that became like that was a metaphor I was holding in my mind for a while, of like, this is, the things that provide, like, this is what we want, as I say in the chorus, what do I say? I say, yeah, who you are and which way you should go. That's what we all want to know. This is what we all want to know.
Yes. Yeah.
And so the things that reflect that back to us, to me, it's like, you could say they're like water. And then, of course, that opens up all the other metaphorical meanings of water. It's refreshing.
Yeah.
It's life-giving.
Yeah.
It's all those things, Yeah, so that was a metaphor. I'm really glad you pulled that one out, because it's an album cut. It's like I don't think I've ever performed it live, but it's a song that means a lot to me. And it's like really, in terms of my songs, that's one of the one that's closest to my heart, like, to kind of, I don't know, the deepest parts of me, I guess you could say. What else can I say about that song?
You can be complete. That's sufficient. I don't want you to feel like you have to. I also get the sense that a lot of it is in the lyrics.
Yeah.
And thank you for sinking into it for you in this moment. And you've said a number of things that now I'm going to offer back to you if you want to.
Sure.
So
I'm going to say one last
do
thing.
Do it.
Because I do. So it was really the metaphor that like made me interested in writing that song. But in the context of that album, I kind of stumbled on this idea, because the album is called A Short Story About a War, and it's like, very kind of loose concept album. In my brain, it was set in like this desert. And so I start the song by saying, and they were all at war over land. But the truth is in the water, right? Like, and that felt like it had some resonances with our world, in terms of, everything from like ecological crisis to like housing crisis. Like, we forget what life is really about. Anyways, that's the last
so
thing
when
I'll
you
say
say at war over land, but then you say it's actually about water, do you mean like drinking water? And
I guess there's like that meaning. But then there's also like, just the way we run around. Like, if you think about the metaphorical meaning of water that I'm going for, the things that are really important to us, that show us who we are, show us which way we like. We're not interested in that.
Yeah.
It seems like maybe that's just a human condition. Maybe that's just our times. But it's like, we're not interested in that as much anymore.
It landed.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
That's beautiful. So the three phrases that came in your first answer, reflection. I really had the sense of the interiority of that and the exteriority, the doubling, but also the reversing in that direction and the direction the world is going. So the second question is, what does direction mean to you? Or what does reflection mean to you?
Yeah. I'll start with direction first. To me, direction is like a really difficult thing. To get a sense of how to participate in life, where to invest your time and your energy, takes a lot of discernment if you want to be, and if you have the opportunity to be deliberate about it. Not everybody has that choice, but if you do have the choice, it can be difficult to know which way you in fact should go. One thing I see time and time again is like this golden handcuffs type of situation where people move in a certain direction in order to give themselves choice, but then they feel just as trapped or more than people with no choice. If you understand what I'm kind of like getting at, right? Yes. So, I think direction is a real tricky thing, and it's something that people really want. I think it gives people just a peace of mind, and we admire it. I always think about movies with like bad guys, but they have a code, and everyone cheers for the bad guy because they have a code. They are like, this is what I'm doing.
But I've made rules. It's basically a law.
I've made a choice. This is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I do it a certain way. And I'm unwavering about it, and we can't help but cheer for that, right? We respect it on some level, right? So that's what I think about direction, and then reflection. Even more than that is what we really want. We really want to be seen, and we really want to see ourselves. I don't know, truthfully, and it's hard. It's hard to get a real sense of, who you are and where you belong, and we try to piece it together from various sources, and maybe that's the best we can do. But you know how it feels when you feel really seen by someone. It's the best.
And it's not too complicated.
But it's so rare.
Yeah. It's
so rare. I was thinking, I got a chance to say this to a teacher that I had in elementary school like a few years ago. Like, I was just thinking about, I remembered when he came to our school, it just changed the whole school. And when it came down to it, I was like, I think what it is he made all these kids feel seen. He saw the good in them. And because of that, he could challenge people to be better, even kids, because they felt seen. So it's no small thing.